Hello and welcome to a new video on my channel. I'm Adam and this is only a small video that I'm going to be doing for you. It's just explaining why I haven't been uploading round 4 Battle of the Beast series. Thank you. Car? My car just locked itself. Yeah. Okay, hopefully I'll sort it then. If it locks again, don't know what to do. Hopefully the alarm doesn't go off. But yeah, got a new car, and the reason why I haven't been uploading Battle of the Beast recently is because I've been rather busy, and when I haven't been busy, I haven't had the time to be home alone. So, and as I said multiple times, I prefer to record when I'm home alone, so I can use the full extent of my voice. And it just locked itself. Okay. And that's the main reason why I prefer to record these home alone, because I use full extent of my voice. I go into detail, go over the top, especially start shouting for Christ's sake. But yeah, that is the reason why I haven't been uploading. Just to run by who the final 7 are. Starting off Series 15, we've got Wardok, the Sky Terror, and Plexor, the Raging Reptile. Both of them are underdogs of the whole tournament, to be exact, because even though it was kind of hinted in Wardok's fights, especially that he can make it far, especially versus Corixa and Crotax. Those were his only 2 fights because he skipped round 3. He's proven that he's reliable, he's resourceful as well, and can put up a decent fight. With Plexor, however, he kind of got the easier wins in round 1 and 2, but in round 3 he showed he deserves to be in the final 7 by killing Skra, which yeah, is obvious because Water Beast and Fire Beast, but because of Skra's main ability, if Skra was able to kill Plexor before he had to take a rest, then Skra could have won. So that was a close fight. So Plexor won, but just by the skin of his teeth. Anything else to say about Series 15? I think one of them is going to be eliminated, at least in round 4. I do not know which one, and it will suck to see either of them go, but I know one of them's got to go. And Wardok can't skip this round, because he skipped round 3. Plexor might still have a chance of skipping it. I do know the matchups, and I do know who skipped round 4, but I'm not saying who. But yeah, Plexor does have a chance making it through round 5 by the skip, or if he gets a lucky opponent they can beat. But at the end of the day is how I actually narrate these fights. Normally I do stick to the whole strategy of whoever I see winning the most, but it's actually how I narrate the battle now. Now we're this close to the end, 6 battles to be exact, till we find a winner, I'm going to be going with how my narration goes, whether I think a beast has more chance in winning than another. So if, for example, Morax goes against Wardok, then Morax may have the high chance in winning just by looking at them side by side. But if I have Wardok narrate it where Wardok wins, that's what's going to happen. That's how I'm trying to explain it. And that's how I'm responding to a message that Lucas said to me the other day, actually. That a beast that may have the lower chance in winning the battle, this close to the end, could still win. Any one of the final 7 can win. It just depends how I narrate it. Up next in Series 22, representing Series 22, the last beast remaining, Durog, Hammer of the Jungle. This beast put up 3 very good fights in his respective battles. And Drogan especially. Someone out there is happy that Drogan got defeated by Durog. And in round 3 was my favourite fight with Durog because he killed Chiron, revenge for Larnak being killed by him. So kind of fitting that was, which I'm happy with. we just need to see what he's like in round 4 and who his opponent is. However, it does, like I said, depend how I narrate it. I can see him winning against certain beasts in particular, like Lycaxa maybe, Plexor most probably, Wardok, maybe, Malix, Morax, and Technos I'm not sure on, but I think Durog will have interesting fights against those 3. Interesting fights against all of them, really. Yeah. Moving on to Series 24, Blood of the Beast, the series that I thought would actually do really well. But actually has one beast remaining, and that is Morax the Wrecking Menace. I am honestly surprised that Morax is the last one standing. I thought it would be Crocol, but we know what happened to him. Morax had interesting fights throughout the entire series. Krytor, Griff, and Solix. All of which seem like Morax would be the obvious winner. Granted, yes. However, the way I narrated it, I think all those fights are relatively interesting. And Morax versus Griff especially, I think that was my favourite fight that Morax had. That may be a bit biased because of Griff. But there's also a bit of bias as well towards Solix and Krytor, because I'm not big fans of those beasts. But Morax had relatively easy fights to an extent. I will say, I hope his round 4 fight will be interesting and actually worth watching. Because he had relatively easy fights. I want him to go against a challenge. I want him to have a challenge in round 4. And if he does make it through to round 5, I want him to earn that victory, not just beat a beast that can't touch him. Up next, we have Series 25, The Prison Kingdom, Last Beast Remaining, Book number 2, Lycaxa, Hunter of the Peaks. Now, despite being blind, Lycaxa actually has a great advantage with his smell and hearing, as they're very highly developed. Which makes him a force to be reckoned with. And I think some people do not actually understand the fact that Lycaxa has just as much chance in winning than anyone else does. I personally think I'm rooting for Lycaxa for this, but I won't show bias. I won't try and narrate him to win the entire tournament. If he does win, then okay, that's it. He won. But as round 1 and round 2 and round 3 fights were all incredible. Like 4-on especially, that was a good fight. His round 3 fight, Stritor, that was better. His round 1 fight, I forget his opponent, Rathcore, I think. Not as good as the other 2, but still relatively okay. Each time he's ruined the arena he's been fighting in. And in round 4, if he ruins the arena again, hopefully it will either be the last time or the second to last time, or maybe the third to last time, depending how well he does. I hope Lycaxa does do well, though, because I definitely think he's underrated beast in Series 25. Or all the beasts in general. Not enough people, I think, are talking about him. But I think he does deserve more recognition. He is my favourite of Series 25. He's Lucas's favourite of Series 25. Obviously, we want to see him do well, but Lucas isn't rooting for him. He's rooting for Wardok and Malix, I believe. Maybe Morax as well. Moving on to Series 26 now. 2 beasts remaining. Technos the Ocean Crawler and Malix the Silent Stalker. Technos had actually really good battles against 3 water beasts in all 3 of those rounds. And versus Glarky especially was more of a different route that I took with this battle. I took it in a torturous route, which actually made it kind of interesting for me. Hence why I do enjoy doing that fight. Technos is a beast that I don't really see many interesting fights coming out of. But the way I narrate it and the way it's edited by Lucas, I think it just makes it seem more interesting and makes me actually happy to do Technos' fights. Because I'm not a big fan of this beast. He's probably still my 3rd favourite of the series. But it's just the creativity I have using him. Malix, I think this one is no surprise, is actually in the final 7. Because throughout all of his fights, Quark, Lipida, and what was the other one? Quark, Lipida, and what was his round 3 opponent? The name escapes me. Oh, this is going to bother me now. Oh, what was this round? Sorry, I'm trying to think what was round. Was it Vetrix? Yeah, it was. Vetrix, Lipida, and Quark. All great beasts, fallen to the Hydra. This one seems to be an obvious candidate to win. Personally, I think the Hydra's a bit overrated. It doesn't change the fact I still like Malik, so come on, I like my snake beasts. But I think he's definitely the favourite to win now. Because I've actually at work and a couple other places, I've asked a bunch of people, probably 20 to 30 people, and I asked them just by looking at the covers, because they haven't read the series, and just by looking at the covers, and if I tell you who they defeated, what they look like, and what those beasts' respective abilities are, do you think you can be able to predict who you think will win? And surprisingly to me, no one has voted for Technos. So in order of least votes to most votes, Technos, then Plexor, then it was Wardock, then it was Durog after Wardock, then it was Malix, then Morax, and then Lycaxa. It surprised me that Lycaxa actually got the most votes, as I thought Morax would, or maybe even Malix. But from when I asked why they chose Lycaxa, they said because even though he's blind, he has a natural high sense of smell and hearing, which can just reveal the location of any other beast, which could give him the advantage. And not to mention his ability to create earthquakes, chasms, crevices, and a bunch of other stuff. I don't think I said earthquakes, because I don't think he can do earthquakes, but he can do crevices, tremors, rock sides, chasms, and crevices. That's what I mean to say. He is a strong candidate to win. That's what my mate said, and I took their opinions into account, and to add on with how my beast review went on them, in my beast reviews of them, as well as their previous battles they had, I'm merging that all together to try and take all of it into account to make great fights for round 4. I do not know when those fights will be released. I will release them as soon as I can, but as long as I'm working, or if there's someone in the house with me, I'm not doing those videos. But with that being said, this is meant to be a quick 5-minute video, but it's actually 13 minutes. That's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press the notification bell down in the corner below, and I'll see you next time.